Good morning, viewers. Welcome to ST Money's Morning News, your weekday business news channel. It's Tuesday morning, December 31, 2024, and I'm your host, Sunil Thakker of Sunny Talks Money. Let's roll. A year-end tech sell-off rattled markets for a second straight session on Monday. Wall Street closed in the negative territory on Monday in light volume at the top of a holiday-shortened week in the second to start last trading session of an eventful year, which all three indexes posted strong double-digit gains. A banner year for US stocks is ending poorly as a retreat in technology stocks extended a stretch of losses that began when the Federal Reserve cooled expectations for interest rate cuts 2 weeks ago. End of year tax positioning, valuations, climbing treasury yields, and uncertainties about 2025 all contributed to the risk off sentiment. And, anyways, when there is thin volume, it does not take a lot to move markets. The three major US stock indexes bounced off early lows but were still down more than 1%. It was a third consecutive decline for both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, and also the third time the indexes dropped more than 1% in 8 sessions. The technology-heavy Nasdaq Composite fell 1.19%, leading the day's declines. It lost 235 points or 1.19% to 19,486. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slid roughly 1% or 418 points to 42,573, and the S&P 500 declined 63 points or 1.07% to 5,906. With the year wrapping up on Tuesday, many investors are likely trimming risk from their portfolios and locking in gains for the year. Despite recent weakness, 2024 has been an extremely fruitful year for the US equities. Nasdaq is on track for about a 30% annual gain, and the S&P 500 is headed for more than a 24% rise for 2024. The Dow remains up just about over 13% from the last closing levels of 2023. Investors are also grappling with a number of uncertainties heading into the new year. Most Federal Reserve officials projected two rate cuts in 2025 at their latest meeting. Some investors are also worried that stickier than expected inflation could complicate things for the Fed. Donald Trump's upcoming presidency and the prospect of tariffs on imports from China and other US trading partners are also on traders' minds. The broad sell-off dragged all 11 S&P sectors into negative territory on the day, with consumer discretionary suffering the largest percentage decline, falling 1.6%. On the sector level, technology, communication services, and consumer discretionary were on course to notch gains of nearly 30% or more, while materials appear poised to nab the dubious distinction of the only sector to have lost ground on the year. In stock specific, tech names such as ARM Holdings, Broadcom, and Micron dropped more than 2%. Boeing shares fell 1.6% after South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok ordered an emergency safety inspection of its entire airline operations following the deadliest air accident in that country's history involving a Boeing 737-800. Crypto stocks including MicroStrategy, Coinbase, and Mara Holdings tumbled from 3.8% to 8.2%. Chip maker Nvidia stock shot up nearly 180% this year as investors placed heavy bets on the promise of emergent artificial intelligence technology. In November, Nvidia replaced rival chip maker Intel in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This year, the so-called Magnificent Seven cohort of US tech giants has driven a 25% advance in the S&P 500, while prompting some to worry that gains are too concentrated in a small group of names. Still, few are calling for the rally to end, and not many expect the S&P 500 to decline next year. In recent trading, the 10-year Treasury yield fell to 4.546%. It has settled Friday or at 4.619%, the highest since May. Bitcoin traded above $94,000 at $94,002. It has pulled back sharply after hitting an all-time high of $108,000 earlier this month. Commodities, West Texas Intermediate crude rose 0.8% to $71.13 a barrel. Spot gold fell 0.5%, 2,607 an ounce. Key events this week: New Year's Day holiday tomorrow, US construction spending, jobless claims, and manufacturing PMI on Thursday, and US ISM manufacturing light vehicle sales on Friday. The US government has declared a national day of mourning on Thursday, January 9, to mark the death on Sunday of former President Jimmy Carter. The US stock market will be closed that day. That's it for today, folks. I will see you again on Thursday morning. Have a great New Year's Eve. In the meantime, please subscribe, share, and like this video. Thank you. Happy investing, stay inspired, and remember, it is all about money.